This video is going to go in the playlist of most important videos that I've ever made, and here is why. I'm going to show you a neat way that you probably can't find anywhere else to visualize for even a mixture of dumb it down type of stuff and a mixture of very technical stuff. So for both of the people on YouTube giving me good feedback, please dumb it down, or hey, let's keep it very technical. This is going to be a very cool video for both parties, because I think I've finally found a way to both give an analysis and teach what it means the different timeframes be switching probabilities of the other ones and how they knock into each other and make each other sway different ways and all that kind of stuff. It's extremely important to watch this video in its entirety. I really hope that this is not a long video, because it's already like 3 a.m. on my Saturday night / Sunday morning after a long day that feels like 2 days. So let's go get this crypto and let's learn something. I really should say, let's go get these Legos and this Jenga. Okay, so this is what we're dealing with today. Jenga and Legos. Right now, with the more technical things that newer folks to my channel might not understand. For example, the monthly 10 EMA, which is this white line. The weekly 10 EMA, which is the red line. Those things might not make sense, or the origin line, which is this line, or the origin line trading channel, which is this stuff. All that might not be understood for new folks, but it's not going to matter. I will say, though, that understanding those things helps you know a little bit better of a basis of what is the reality of how many Legos I have, but what I'm getting ready to show you will also give you a way to do that starting from the opposite angle, from the lower time frames, which is why this video is going to be kind of wild, because I want to go from lower time frames to help you understand bigger time frames, which technically, and really most YouTubers try to do the opposite, because it's easy. It's a lot easier to lose your money on the lower time frames, especially if you are gambling on a futures website. So let's go check this out. Let's watch how these time frames knock into each other. Right now, with the more technical things that some newer folks to crypto might not understand, or the folks on YouTube saying, hey, please dumb this down, that is telling us with a very strong certainty that things are down. So right now, we essentially, if we imagine what type of Legos do we have, like imagine you want a greenhouse, right? But you can't, like you only have, so you just make the roof green. So that's what we're playing with right now. We only have a green roof, or maybe switch it around and maybe make it a green window. But you can't have a green house, right? Okay, now the lower time frames. Here's where things start switching. Watch this. Some very, very basic rules, but I promise you what I'm about to tell you is going to be massively beneficial. Massively beneficial. And I'm not even giving secrets away that my paid for Discord community, which links to that in the description section, that they would be mad about. This is but it's going to be, just watch what I'm about to do. So right now, with the more technical things, we do know that it's mostly red Legos. We can't build a greenhouse. The technical things are helping us with that. However, you can build the other way as well. Watch. The moment that we get another green Lego to build with, so that therefore, if we were really stubborn and we just want more green in our house, we can have some 2 green windows now. And I'll show you the moment that happens. But right now, it hasn't happened. The moment it happens is when, let's use this, is when price of, let's say, the 30-minute time frame. I'm on the 30-minute. It's a very cool time frame to trade. 5 minute through 1 hour are kind of micro time frames. Anyway, this is a neat time frame because it's the biggest fish of the small. Essentially, it's the largest time frame of what I would consider the micro time frame. Therefore, it more easily bumps into what are the small time frames, which are pretty powerful fairly powerful time frames. You don't get another green Lego until this price, and again, I'm on the 30-minute chart. And it would look similar on the 5-minute chart too. Very, very similar rules. And you could go down to the stock market, down to the 15-second chart, but it's still the same rules. I promise you. It's all the same. It just happens more often on here. That's it. That's the only difference. Watch. You don't get another green Lego until price gets over that. That's step one. Now we have 2 green Legos, which in our perspective of trading with probabilities and making math easy is that actually we would delete 1 red and add 1 green. So we have the same amount of Legos. So imagine the same, you can only have 100%. You can't have 110%. So we have to delete 1 and add another, right? Okay, so now we have the same amount of Legos, but another green piece. So move things around, maybe have a red roof and two green windows. So now our stubborn greenness, I guess Cosasverdes. So we have 2 green windows, 2 ventanas verdes. Okay, tenemos dos. All right. Now, after that happens, though, you can oftentimes get another green Lego in 2 different ways. If there's another type of local high that's kind of close, or a different obstacle that's overhead that sometimes the newer folks would consider more technical, and I don't understand what that is, like EMA or a range. So this is just a line from a range, but it makes it easy that they're crossing at the same time. They're all about in the same area, right? But we technically have another local high before either of those happen. So if price can and this is option number 1 to get the 3rd Lego. There are a couple of options to get our 3rd Lego. So the first Lego we get after it comes above here, which I shouldn't use the Lego colors for that. We get another Lego, so we already got a Lego for this. If price can get over that high right there, you get another green Lego and get to delete a red one. So we're working towards the upside a little bit, right? And honestly, I'm telling you, this is not going where you think it's going. I haven't told you about Jenga yet. Okay, this is not as easy. For people who are like the more technical people, I already know where he's going with this. I don't think you do. I just wait for the Jenga, and there's an Easter egg in this video because I want to keep things vanilla with my speech and not say word, but in my object tree, you'll see what I really want to say and how I really feel when Jenga comes into play. So if you are paying attention to my videos and know what an object tree is. All right. And how you should really feel about the Jenga as it comes into play. All right. Now we got a third one, but let's say that didn't happen. There is another option for getting your 3rd Lego. So we'd have to make ourselves another red one, because now we still only have 2, and we have that roof there, right? With 2 green ventanas verdes. You can also get your 3rd green Lego piece after price gets above here, but it does not get above here. It goes down first, right? So it gets here. You can also get the 3rd Lego piece if you make a higher low, and then start turning up. So it's not a higher low until it turns up, right? So you can't just say, boom, and I get another Lego piece. No, you gotta have some green candle closures, or maybe, even like past this for more certainty. But let's say you get a few green candles after this and you still haven't passed this. I think, you get a cookie, right? We're using Legos, not cookies. You get a cookie. You get another green Lego and we can delete this one. That gives us the opportunity, to have the 3rd Lego. But you can see that this is the micro timeframes. And after all of that, we're still way more red. And what that means is micro is, the more important stuff is also red, right? So the smaller timeframes have to be super green before the timeframes that are more like the 4-hour and the daily and all that stuff, before those can even have a chance to start flipping, just because this 30 minutes all green Legos, so we have a green house now. Then the 4-hour comes and says, well, we're getting ready to show you what that is. Just watch. And let's say a little bit more work is done and you get a couple more higher highs, and even, without these technical things, you literally just get local highs, higher lows in a structure like this. And over time, you will end up getting, without the complex things in there, you'll start getting more green Legos than red Legos, but only on the time frames. And if you want to visualize what those time frames are, it is right here. Ooh, maybe not. Nope, you're not going to be able to see it. I have to have it's way over there on my chart. All right, but there are different time frames. So let's say 4 of them. All right, but imagine a fish that can eat another fish, or Russian dolls that fit inside of each other. So have you seen those Russian dolls? So we only have more green ones now on the smallest Russian doll and not the biggest. So now we have, hey, okay, great. Probabilities are to the upside for these micro time frames. However, this is when you get Jenga. It could all start crumbling down here because this is when this time frame, okay, this fish has to go battle the next one, which is what I would call the small time frames, which I would define as 1 hour to 4 hour. Micro time frames are 5 minute to 30 minute, which honestly are great to trade. Like you can trade up even though the bigger fish are all down. You can. It's called counter trend trading, and that's honestly one of my favorite ways to trade. Like this stuff gets really beautiful the more you understand it and look at it, and on both large and small time frames. They work the same exact way. It's just on the small time frames, it's just like physics. You know, atoms and electrons, they move a lot faster and do things at higher revolutions than big old humans. You know, we can only, move our feet so fast, right? It's very similar to physics. It's all the same thing. All right, so now we got Jenga. So we got our greenhouse, and we're saying bull run. No, you don't get bull run. You get Jenga. Can you see what? Oh yeah, you can see what it says. what I'd prefer to say. That's how it makes me feel over there. No, you don't get a bull run. You get Jenga. And this is off, and the reason why is right when that time frame is starting to get more green, so that Russian doll is now that concept, you have more green than red, that's when it bumps into something that might be more technical, like an origin line or the monthly 10, and you get Jenga. Bees notch. You get Jenga, and you don't know if it's going to tank right after or go level. It's just anything could freaking happen. It could go up, it could go down, it could go sideways. It is literally one of those moments in Jenga where you don't know. You just don't know. And it's really wild, but that is the way it is. And that's why sometimes trading a specific set of time frames and you get comfortable with them, all right, that's typically more profitable instead of trading a whole bunch of different time frames. All right. And let's go ahead and try to get rid of my Jenga if I can here. There we go. Get rid of my Jenga. All right, now let's say that price on these lower time frames, it can go ahead and continue to make higher lows. It comes down here. Actually, let's say it goes a fake out and then comes up. And when that happens, because I went to the wrong chart. When that happens, and you don't maintain a higher low structure, you actually have to do something like this. Like you gotta like probably triple your red and you lose a lot of green Legos. You lose a lot of them. Just from a statistical, mathematical basis, are you more red than green? Maybe not. Maybe half and half. But the probability goes, maybe straight from mostly green Legos to about half and half almost instantly after that. Okay, but it's still Jenga. Like it might fall, it might not. You don't know. It's one of those moments. It literally might go up, it might go down, it might go sideways. And that's why people who joke around about that, most of them actually don't realize that's the truth. And they don't realize that that's actually the case. And they come, on channels that might be more technical and slightly, perhaps more advanced than what they're prepared for. And they'll say, it could go up, could go down, could go sideways, greed analysis. Well, no, that's actually the case. I promise you. That's literally it. All right? And it's very hard to swallow. Like, it's a hard pill. All right. But a lot of times, let's say, like, how do we get some Legos back? And you're literally following simple friggin' rules of structure. Does it go over? Does it go below its previous low? Or can it go above its previous high? Highs and lows, that's it. That's it. You can just literally use that only. And you'll probably do a pretty damn good job of trading. I'm serious. But as long as you can understand that the green, even though I have more green pieces on the lower time frame at that point, let's say something like this, we did have more green pieces for a while. That doesn't mean bull run, okay? That's very important to understand, the different time frames. We are this green only on micro time frames. This doesn't mean bull run for 2022, because that would be larger time frames. And then let's say it can recover and we get our green Legos back on this one time frame, because although we lost Legos here and we got half and half, we get back above this, and then we come, let's say this red line, this thing that Cosasverdes says, I don't understand what the hell it is. He says something about a week and like a DMX or something, or an EMA. Yeah, an EMA. That's an EMA. If it can get above this, okay, this high here, and come land on that while making a higher high. Sorry to keep this red. Maybe I should make this white again. Let's make this white. So if it can do a higher high on price while landing on something that I don't understand, but this dude on the internet says it's important, maybe I actually get like way more Legos back, and all of my Legos. Oh yeah, and then you pop up. You can't just touch it. You got to go up a little bit and then start getting some green candles. At that point, this lower time frame, I passed the Jenga. I pulled it out. So this was the Jenga moment, and I succeeded. I succeeded with my Jenga did not fall. We got our Jenga moment, and it didn't fall. Therefore, now we start all over. We start all over. If you want a greenhouse, sorry, buddy, you're starting with all red pieces, and this is where this is the concept that you won't see anywhere else anywhere. I don't think. I just thought of this, and it just sucks. I had to think of it really late at night, but whatever. You start all over. The next time frame is something like this. Maybe, because the lower time frames were having a rush up and some volatility to the upside, you might actually be able to start with 3 Legos. So when one time frame knocks into the next and we start over, let's say you get 1 more piece or maybe 2 more pieces to start with, okay, that are green. Your starting place is slightly better than totally starting over back to 1 green and all red, okay? Our starting place is slightly better. But still, we got to turn a lot of these green before we can even think of maybe bull runs. And if the short-term time frame turns all green, I mean you're still only like at a 30% chance of bull run. This just at anytime soon, to even be considering it. Now, if the one after this all can flip green. But there's a lot of work to do before even this can be green, because it's a bigger time frame, so bigger, badder stuff has to happen. But it's the same exact rules. Okay, so let me go to a different time frame, and hopefully these Legos stay the same size. So I'll just go to something like the 4 hours. So hopefully my Legos look, that's about right. All right, now we have the 4-hour chart. And the 4 hour, let's say we got price all the way up to here. And on the 4 hour, we want to get and stay above. Let's just look at some highs here. So here, let me zoom in a little bit. And don't worry about my technical stuff. Right? Let's even take it off. Okay? We're just left with these straight lines that Cosas told us to copy. And we took the time to pause the video and draw as well as we could on our chart. All right? Because we know how to draw a line on our chart, hopefully. So we just kind of eyeball this and say, okay, if price can get above here, since it already peaked above and stopped, okay, just kind of use logic here. Because it already peaked above that little high right there, we can't get a Lego just because it goes back up there again, because it already did it. That won't get us a Lego. We have to get above it and land on it Actually, no, we could probably get a Lego, yeah, when you get above it and land on it, and maybe get one green candle. All of those three things combined. Not just getting back above it, because you already did it, and it didn't work, right? So you got to get above it, land on it, and then have a couple green candles. And then at that point, we might get a couple green Legos, something to that effect. Your probabilities, they start flipping kind of fast at that point. And then if you get and stay even sideways for a long time, like nothing bad or good happens, that technically, that's when the statistics actually get really tricky. It's when and EMAs and all the technical stuff start converging, and it's difficult to tell where price is going to go. And sometimes, if things go sideways long enough, oftentimes you get right back at that a moment. It's not just like Jenga, but it's kind of like the moment where you don't know if it's all going to fall. It's literally there is no edge either way. And it's hard to accept that. Like there literally is no way to predict where this is going to go with one guess being mathematically, okay, and statistically, like as in you're writing math, one way is not better than the other. There is no best way. And if you've seen The Wizard of Oz, it's one of those moments where I think, what's her name, Dorothy asked the Scarecrow, which way did Toto go? I think it was the dog. And he goes like this. It's literally one of those moments. But that's the truth. He did go both ways. Like there are two dogs and they went both, like they're two Totos, like Schroeder's cat or something. Now I'm getting the physics, so this is too much. But it's one of those moments where it's true. Like the dog, for some reason, you're in a mirror world and it went both ways. And it's actually the truth. As wild as that sounds. But if you can imagine, just very basic rules of highs and lows, and then over time incorporate slightly more technical things because you keep watching a channel, and over time, okay, I'm going to Google what is an EMA or origin line. I'm going to Google that. Well, it doesn't come up. Like, because this dude kind of make like that's his thing. Like no one else says origin line. Oh, okay, well, let me go back on his videos and then see what an origin line is or whatever. And with those more technical things, you can start understanding these Legos, have a better understanding of when you open the Lego set, can I build a greenhouse? And it's almost like folks who are newer, when they open up a Lego set, they're red-green colorblind. And that's what you're dealing with. And you don't know, like you're like, shit, can I build a greenhouse? I don't know. Like, what am I looking at in this chart? But over time, you will. You'll just literally be able to open up the Lego set for a specific time frame because you learned just a few technical things, and you'll be like, hell yeah, I can build a greenhouse with a green garage and a green boat. I got a lot of green, or I'm going to build a bunch of red. I'm going to have a red house and a red garage with one green window. You'll be able to know it right away for that time frame. Okay, you will, I promise. And then you'll start understanding and accepting slowly after you've learned just basic colors and you can see, as weird as that sounds, then you'll start understanding and accepting strange things like the dog did go both ways. And that's kind of like your Jenga. So first is to see the colors. Second is Jenga, or accepting that there are, the cat is both dead and alive at the same time, or whatever the physics or the mental thought experiment is for quantum mechanics, how it works, how the quantum world works. But you have to accept that. And then after you get, statistics and probability concepts down, and you're not, losing your money betting and gambling because you still think it's green and red, but no, the cat went both ways. Maybe I should chill out and not go waste my money in a casino because there is no edge, and you have to accept that. And after you make those two simple steps, just Jenga, okay, and Legos, crypto will be profitable for you and very life-changing. I totally promise you. Click this if you want to see the rest of my most important videos I've ever made. And if you want to quickly learn how to set up a chart in 28 minutes, click this video right here. Don't forget to check out my Discord community. Links in the description section. We'll see you next time.